Good morning, everyone. I would like to start asking you a question. When you think of someone multitasking, what do they look like? Do they look like this? Now, with a show of hands, how many of you know someone like this? And how many of you are this person? Well, a few years ago, that person was me. I was someone who wore multitasking like a badge of honor. I was running multiple businesses, investing in startups, juggling deadlines, being a mother, a daughter-in-law, all while being a wife of a political leader engaging with constituents. On top of that, I always received appreciation and more so, even questions like, "Wow, how do you do it all? You're a superwoman." And who doesn't love hearing that? So I believed them, and the more I did, the more I'd be appreciated. And soon I convinced myself that the only way to succeed was to do everything, all at once. I thought that was the only way to win. But what if doing all of that was actually the fastest way to lose? What if being everywhere was actually leaving me nowhere? And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I am Swapnali Vishwajeet Kadam, entrepreneur, philanthropist, educationist, and most of all, a lifelong learner. Founder of F.O.C.U.S and chairperson at Bharati Vidyapeeth Rabindranath Tagore School of Excellence. I'm someone who has learned the power of focus over busyness in both life and work. But it wasn't always this way. For years, I believed that being busy and doing everything at once was the key to success. Until one day, I had a moment that changed everything. A moment that showed me the true cost of multitasking. This breaking point came during my son Avir's PTM. I was sitting next to him while his teacher was highlighting his achievements. He kept looking at me with bright, hopeful eyes, waiting for just one subtle nod and one affirming hug from his mum. But where was I? I was on my phone, jumping between messages, trying to close a deal, coordinating 10,000 other things. I was sitting in that classroom, but my eyes were on that phone, and my mind was buried in spreadsheets. And my son Avir, his eyes kept searching for mine, longing for the presence that I wasn't giving him. And as it turns out, neither the deal nor the relationship was getting the attention it deserved. And that's when the first crack appeared in my so-called superpower. In fact, it wasn't just one moment. And it wasn't just Avir. Even my friends had a nickname for me. They called me Donks because I buckled down to do the donkey work, often to the point of ignoring my relationships and self-care. My physical, mental, energetical, social and emotional health had all taken a big hit. That evening, I paused and I confronted the truth. I told myself, this has to stop. I can't be everywhere trying to do everything and do justice to none of it. And it hit me like a lightning bolt. What if multitasking isn't my superpower, but my kryptonite? In that moment, I realized something profound. My real power isn't my busyness. It's actually my attention. And that's what makes me effective, present, and ultimately fulfilled. So here's what I learned the hard way. Busyness is not productivity. Activity is not achievement. And multitasking is not efficiency. Now let me show you what multitasking looks like in real life. Now, does this look familiar? I like to call it death by 1,000 tabs. So, what did I do about this? I decided to quit the business of busyness. And I started small. I experimented with mindfulness. And no, it wasn't some grand life hack. It began with something painfully simple and painfully early. I've always been a morning person, usually the first one awake at home. But even that wasn't really nurturing me. So I had to push it to a 5 a.m. start. But in that quiet, I gave myself 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes to meditate, chant, and set the tone for the day. No phone, no noise. Now, I know we don't have 20 minutes here, but what we have is 10 seconds. So I invite you to close your eyes for just 10 seconds. All of you, if I can invite you to close your eyes for 10 seconds and silently ask yourself, what is the one thing I want to be fully present for today? Is it the TED Talk today? Or a particular meeting? Or a class? Or is it investing time with your loved ones later in the day? While you open your eyes, notice that even a tiny ritual like this can seep into your everyday life quite easily. And so I made this practice a conscious ritual. And so when I work, I'm fully working. When I'm with my friends and family, I'm completely with them. And when I rest, I actually rest. Now, I had replaced my scattered attention with my deep presence. And the results were remarkable. Remember that PTM I told you about? I still remember Ravi coming back home and telling me, "Mom, you need to focus." And just like that, it hit me. He was right. Maybe my whole definition of focus was completely wrong. That day, I decided to rebuild it from scratch and break it down letter by letter into steps that I could actually live by. I call it my redefined focus. Now, let me walk you through it. F stands for foremost. At any point in time, what is my foremost priority? My foremost task. This means single tasking your priorities. Pick one task, give it your full attention, and do it with a brain that's clear, awake, and ready to focus. Those 20 minutes in the morning that I told you about, that's the secret ingredient. For me, this means identifying the top priorities in the day, whether it's a key business decision or investing time with my loved ones. By focusing fully on one thing at a time, I'm left with more time for myself, my passion, and to truly enjoy life to the fullest. O stands for objective. Earlier, I would walk into board meetings and spend hours in the room discussing matters, but still achieve, well, nothing substantial. What was missing? Focus. Once I started asking myself, what's the objective of this meeting? What's the one outcome I need from it? Everything changed. My attention has sharpened. I speak with purpose. Decisions get made faster, and the rest of my day doesn't leave me drained. In fact, I leave my meetings energized, not exhausted. C stands for clarity and communication. One of the most powerful strategies I've adopted is creating clarity for myself and for the people around me, and then backing it up with open, consistent communication. Clarity removes the guesswork, and communication makes sure everyone is on the same page. For example, with my team, make sure I'm clear on what needs to be done and by when. The result is less duplicated effort and smoother days for all of us. I consistently update my family on upcoming critical work deadlines so they understand when I need focus time and when I can be fully present with them. And you know what? Even my kids truly get it. U stands for Unlock Mindfulness. Now, I really feel mindfulness is so underrated. Just this one habit can transform your life and I make sure to use it throughout the day. Even before switching tasks, I always pause, take one mindful conscious breath and reset. These small pauses connect me with my inner purpose, allowing me clarity in every interaction. And you know what? Mindfulness looks different for each one of us. For me, mindfulness is my Buddhist practice. Yours may be just going for a walk or doing yoga or anything else that grounds you. The key is to find your own mindful practice and use it graciously to stay steady, focused, and fully present. S stands for support. We all celebrate the superhuman who seems to do it all. But the real superpower is building a super support system. An ecosystem that lifts you up, lets you delegate wisely, and keeps your energy and spark intact. That's exactly what I did. I built my own ecosystem of support. From my assistant who keeps the details in check, to my business coach who sharpens my vision, or my well-being coaches that push me to be my healthiest version of myself and my entire army at home. And here's the thing, you can build your own ecosystem too. It could be your peers who hold you accountable, or even your parents who hold the space for you. So I would say, do not hesitate to ask for support. In fact, make it a habit of seeking support. So now, with my redefined focus, Sundays don't feel like a mountain of undone tasks. They feel like badminton with my kids, where I'm enjoying, laughing, and connecting. Just the other day, my younger son, Abhijay, said, "Mama, you know what? Sundays are my most favorite because we get to play badminton together." So now I can proudly say that family, work, life all flow because I've learned to focus on the 20% that actually moves the needle. I quit the business of busyness. That's really the core of it. I simply had to identify the critical 20%, the key projects, the key decisions, and the key relationships that truly drive my life, and dedicate my energy there. The rest, while necessary, no longer dominates my focus or steals my calm. So now I can do less, yet achieve far, far more without burning out or losing my presence. I want to go back to my son Avir for a moment. Recently, when we were working on a school project together, he paused, looked at me, and said, "Mama, you're really here." And those words were worth more than any business deal in the world for me. I realized life isn't asking us to do more at once. Life is asking us to do one thing well with a whole heart. So to all of you here today, ask yourself this. Are you wearing multitasking like a badge of honor, or are you ready to lay it down and step into true presence? Because the truth is, when you choose to multitask, you're too drained to enjoy your own wins or too distracted to notice the people who matter. And that's the real cost that you pay. So stop trying to be everywhere and start being somewhere. And the next time you catch yourself trying to do 3 things at once, pick one. Do it with a whole heart. That's focus. I've redefined my focus. Now the question is, are you ready to redefine yours? Thank you.